You have a life story to tell, but getting a complete stranger to stop and care about that experience is one of the most difficult challenges in creative nonfiction. If you begin by listing chronological facts about where you were born, or if you simply pour raw emotions onto the page, the reader will likely tune out. Over the next 5 minutes, we will work through a micro-essay blueprint to help you draft a specific opening paragraph. Step 0. Grab a notebook and a pen. I want you to select one specific personal memory and hold it clearly in your mind. Capturing a stranger's attention requires moving away from the structure of a personal diary entry toward a professionally structured hook. Step 1 is choosing your narrative frame. A sprawling life story is simply too large for a reader to process, so we must narrow that material into a tight container. To do this, you will use one of 4 framing devices: a specific event, a tangible object or physical trait, a culturally significant food, or a specific place. Choose your frame now. Ensure it is a concrete, tangible thing, like a single wooden rosary, or a very tight moment in time. Step 2 is isolating the core insight of your story from your surface feelings. Writing "I was happy and proud that I graduated" is a surface emotion. It provides the reader with a feeling, but not a reason to keep reading. True meaning looks past the ritual. At a graduation, that insight might arrive when you notice your father's seat is empty, realizing he stayed home because your success highlights his own failures. Avoid social platitudes like "it was for the best." Compelling meaning requires you to define what the universe was trying to teach you in that exact moment. Step 3 is filtering for relevant specificity. The key to a universal story is choosing hyper-specific sensory details. Inexperienced writers often stack too many descriptive words onto a single noun, creating image overload. My old, gray, ratty, tattered, moth-smelling blanket. Follow the 2-adjective maximum rule. Eliminate generic modifiers and rely instead on a single powerful verb or a highly focused descriptor. Naming a single precise physical texture is more evocative than listing a dozen vague traits. Curating a few highly specific sensory details creates an immersive mood, whereas listing excessive adjectives merely provides distracting data. Step 4 is building a juxtaposition. This is the strategic pairing of highly contrasting images. Consider a classic example: a massive, brutal monster standing directly next to a tiny, delicate girl offering a single flower. Placing these specific, opposing images side by side generates narrative tension. The visual contrast forces the audience to feel the monster's brutality and the girl's fragility. In your writing, you might pair a tragic moment of intense grief directly with a mundane, ordinary task, like suddenly needing a towel while standing in the shower. Look at the memory you selected earlier and identify one ordinary or comforting detail that directly contrasts with the main conflict of that memory. Engineering a collision of opposing visual elements forces the reader to experience the emotion without being told what to feel. Step 5 is drafting the hook. Take your chosen frame, your filtered details, and your juxtaposition, and combine them into a 3 to 4 sentence opening. To keep the writing sharp, avoid emotional labels like sad or infuriating, and skip cliches like tears streamed down my face. This excerpt from Michelle Lapraport's The Aquarium uses condensed language to drop you straight into a specific image. Still dark when booms from the living room startle us awake. She floats in the small space like a seahorse in deep ocean. This text describes a white-winged dove trapped inside a house. Focusing on the concrete image of the bird grounds the narrative instantly. Do not start your essay with biographical statistics like your age or location. Those details stall the pacing. Eliminating explicit emotion words forces you to construct a scene so sharp that the reader generates the intended emotion on their own. Look at the paragraph you just wrote. It contains no biographical data and 0 explicit emotion labels. Using a specific, contrasting image allows the deeper significance of the memory to emerge through the narrative itself. You now have a structured blueprint and a compelling hook that gives a stranger a reason to invest their time in your story. Apply this framework of relevant specificity to the rest of your draft. Brevity and curated details create the intimacy needed to keep a stranger reading.